Cabinet meeting on Wednesday, the 10th of September 2025. Please note that today's meeting may be recorded and broadcast on the authority's website. Any person in view of the camera is by virtue attending consented being filmed to the possible use of those images and sound recordings as outlined. Democratic Services, can I please ask you to start the recording? Thank you, Alex. Okay, moving on to the first items on the agenda. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence.
None have been received, Chair.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Agenda item 2, declarations of interest.
Yeah.
Councillor Salmon.
On agenda item number 10, I have to declare an interest and lead the meeting. I currently sit on the Management Committee of TDusky.
Thanks, Councillor Salmon. Any other declarations of interest?
Madam Chair.
Thank you. We'll move on to the main body of the report. Minutes from previous meetings to approve the accuracy and enter into record minutes of the previous meeting. I'm happy to move. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Jones.
It's Councillor Jones.
Happy to second, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Jones. Are there any other comments for accuracy? I think we shall take that to vote, Karen.
Okay, yeah. So if all those in favour can raise their hand. 6. That's unanimous, Chair. That's carried.
Excellent. Thanks, Karen. Okay, agenda item 4 on the strategic items is the public protection scheme of delegation to consider the report of the Director of Governance and Resources, Councillor Salmon.
Thank you, Chair. This report seeks Cabinet approval to delegate authority to the Head of Public Protection and the Environmental Health Manager to give powers to authorised officers so that they can monitor and enforce the following regulations, along with issuing certificates and licences where necessary. 1 is Food Promotion and Presentation Wales Regulations 2025. These regulations coming into force on the 26th of March 2026 aim to reduce the consumption of high-fat, sugar and salt products and promote healthier lifestyles in Wales. 2, Petroleum Consolidation Regulations 2014. These are effective from 1st of October 2014, and the regulations consolidate and modernise previous laws on petrol storage and dispensing across England, Scotland and Wales. And the 3rd one is Dangerous Substances and Explosive Atmospheres Regulations 2002. These regulations are a core part of the UK's health and safety framework, which require employers to assess and control risks from dangerous substances that could cause fires, explosions or corrosion. It applies to all workplaces where such substances are present. I'll go straight to the recommendations. 2.1, the Head of Public Protection and Environmental Health Manager, following consultation with the Council's Legal Services Department, would be given delegated authority to commence legal proceedings and to issue civil sanctions for breaches of the Food Promotion and Presentation Regulations 2025, the Petroleum Regulations 2014, and the Dangerous Substances and Explosive Atmosphere Regulations 2002 be approved. And 2.2, the Head of Public Protection and the Environmental Health Manager be given delegated authority to authorise appropriate officers under the Food Promotion and Presentation Regulations 2025, the Petroleum Regs 2014, and Dangerous Substances and Explosive Atmosphere Regulations be approved. I so move.
Thanks, Councillor Salmon. Do we have a seconder?
Yes, happy to second, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Scrivens. So we'll open that up to any members' questions. Members' comments?
Comment, Chair. After everyone else, obviously. Sorry.
Any other members' comments? Councillor Salmon.
Thank you, Chair. It's just a thank you to Paul Lewis for writing the report and for the extra work he and his team will be undertaking as part of this report. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Salmon. If there's no more comments, we'll take that straight to the vote.
Okay, so could all councillors in agreement with the recommendations please raise their hands? 6. That's carried unanimous, Chair.
Thanks. Agenda item 5 is the annual equality report 24-25. To consider a report from the Director of Governance and Resources, Councillor Salmon.
Thank you, Chair. Before we start, I'd just like to point out a correction. We have to make at 3.9, it says this vision has been supported by the following 4 equality objectives listed in the table below that are set out in the Council's Strategic Equality Plan for 2024-2028. There are, in fact, 6 in the chart, but that is quite obvious looking at it. Right, this report is the Local Authority's Annual Equality Report 2024-2025, in line with our requirements as a council to publish the progress made on our equality objectives and across our work in equalities. As you will know from reading the report, the Equalities Vision for Milton Tydfil is a place where diversity is valued and respected, and everyone can participate, flourish, and have the opportunity to fill their potential free from discrimination and prejudice. The report contains numerous examples showcasing the work carried out by the Equalities team and various council departments, both internally and in collaboration with other local authorities, external organisations and members of the public, all aimed at promoting fairness and ensuring equal treatment for everyone, no matter their age, disability, gender, marital status, race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. I think you'll agree that a lot of work has been done by the local authorities so that we can comply with the Equality Act 2010. And thank you to Lorna Townsend, Beth Jones and Hannah Brown for writing this report. I'll go to recommendations. 2.1, the publishing of the Council's Annual Equality Report for 2024-2025 be approved. I so move.
Thanks, Councillor Salmon. Do we have a second then?
A second, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Opening up into any questions. Any comments?
Chair.
Councillor Salmon.
Thank you, Chair. This is just to thank Lorna Townsend and Hannah Brown for writing the annual equality report and showcasing the work done by the local authority and its partners. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. We'll take that to the vote then, please, Gary.
Okay, so could all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hands? That's carried unanimous, Chair.
Excellent, thank you. Agenda item 6 is the Q1 Performance, Risk and Finance Report 25-26. This is the report of the Director of Governance and Resources, Councillor Salmon.
Thank you, Chair. Before we start again, just one correction. On page 11 of Appendix 4, the number of children looked after is 156, not 66. And the number of children on the Child Protection Register is 66, not 156. In other words, the data is the other way around. Okay, learning from how we have done things previously and by getting feedback from a variety of sources, this quarterly report combines performance, risk and finance. This is the first time in several years that this approach has been taken, and it aims to provide more regular and contextual data to decision makers, support better planning and scrutiny, strengthen governance and align with the Council's transformation programme, particularly the governance work stream, improve transparency by including additional relevant data to enable deeper analysis and challenge, redeveloping the corporate dashboard to automate and streamline reporting, allowing officers to focus on adding value, and a performance risk and finance review session will take place this month, and the results of that will feed into the Q2 report. I'll go to the recommendations, of which there are 5. 2.1. Progress on the management of the Council's corporate risks and corporate risk register as at the end of Q1. Progress against the Council's annual delivery plan Q1 and key performance indicators in the Council's corporate wellbeing plan be approved. The revenue budget monitoring report for the 2025-2026 financial year based on the first quarter projections be noted. 2.4. Budget variance outlined in Appendix 5 be approved. And 2.5, managers are being asked to address projected budgeted deficits within their respective service areas by identifying all possible measures to offset the deficits be noticed. Can I just wait a second? I'm going to check on something. It doesn't sound quite right. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Okay.
2.1. It should say progress on the management of the council's corporate risks and corporate risk register be approved. So that's all. I so move, Chair.
Thanks, councillor Salmon. Do we have a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. I'm happy to second the report.
Thanks, councillor Williams-Price. We'll take it over to members' questions. Members' comments? Councillor Salmon?
Thank you, Chair. That's just a quick thank you to Andrew Mogford, Louise Ballinger and James Hopwood for writing the report and the level of information and detail within it. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, councillor Salmon. Gary, can we take this to the vote, please?
So could all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hands? 6, that's carried unanimous, Chair.
Thanks, Gary. Agenda item 7 is the Provisional Capital Outturn Report 24-25. To consider the report of the Director of Finance, Councillor Anna Williams-Price.
Thanks, Chair. Yes, this is provisional capital outturn for the financial year ending of 31st of March 2025, and the report provides a comprehensive overview of the council's capital investment performance, covering both core and externally funded projects, and sets up the foundation for informed decision making ahead of final audit. Let me begin by highlighting that the council has delivered total capital expenditure of around 75.5 million during 24-25, which does reflect on our continued commitment to invest in infrastructure, regeneration and service delivery across Merthyr Tydfil, despite ongoing financial pressures. Within our core funded programme, we have recorded an overspend of £203,000 against the original budget of 17.3 million. And this variance has been addressed through proposed budget amendments and carry forward adjustments as outlined in the report and supporting appendices. There is a £988,000 underspend within our externally funded projects, totalling just over 58.3 million, with a reallocation and reprofiling of grants into future years wherever possible. A tremendous amount of work goes into compiling this report and appendices, and I'd like to thank our finance team under Craig Flynn for their work in doing so. I will move the recommendations which are set out at 2.1, that the provisional capital outturn position for 24-25 financial year be noted. 2.2, the budget amendments for core funded projects as outlined in paragraph 4.1 be approved. 2.3, variances to the budget as paragraph 4.2 be noted. And 2.4, the amendments to the proposed 25-26 capital budget following the 24-25 carry forward requirements as per paragraph 4.3 be approved.
Thanks, Councillor Williams-Price. I'm happy to second, so I'll take that straight to members' questions. Members' comments? We'll take that to the vote then.
Okay, so could all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hands? That's carried unanimous, Chair.
Thanks, Gary. Agenda item 8, Cyfarthfa Castle and Art Gallery accreditation. To consider the report of Director of Education, Councillor Lewis.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This report provides an update on Cyfarthfa Castle Museum and Art Gallery, as well as Joseph Parry's cottage over the past year, and outlines the requirement for full re-accreditation. The service, which returned to council control in May 2024, has been marking the castle's bicentenary with a wide programme of events, exhibitions and community projects. Visitor numbers have risen sharply compared to previous years thanks to focused marketing, strong exhibitions programme, major events which include the July's bicentenary weekend, which alone attracted over 2,000 people, including, I believe, most, if not all, of the cabinet. The museum also invested in improvements, including shop upgrades, new gallery lighting, expanded Wi-Fi, and the creation of a cinema room, all aimed at enhancing the visitor experience. Education and community engagement remain central. Over 6,000 school children have taken part in visits or outreach this year, with projects ranging from behind-the-scenes access to the collections to creative partnerships around the Laura Ashley centenary. The community officer has run a wide range of activities, from family workshops and memory cafes to seasonal events such as the highly recommended ghost tours and Santa visits. Partnerships have been key, with work alongside Cardiff and Lampeter universities on conservation, with Cardiff Archives and others on cataloguing Aberfan disaster material, and with national organisations to develop digital access through the Bloomberg Connects app. Accreditation is the UK's benchmark of a professionally run museum, giving confidence to funders, partners and visitors. To regain full status, the museum must demonstrate robust forward planning, security, emergency and conservation policies, and appropriate care of its collections. Updated plans and policies, including forward planning, conservation, documentation and collections developments, have been prepared and are recommended for approval. The report notes upcoming challenges linked to the wider redevelopment of the Cyfarthfa site. This may require relocating collections, both in storage and on display, creating pressures on staff, resources and planning. Overall, this has been a landmark year for Cyfarthfa Castle Museum and Art Gallery, celebrating its 200th anniversary, strengthening its community role, and laying the groundwork for accreditation and sustainability. The recommendations are outlined on 2.1 through to 2.7 of the report. The Museum Forward Plan 25-28 detailed in Appendix 1 be approved. Care and Conservation Plan 25 detailed Appendix 2 be approved. The Care and Conservation Policy 25 detailed in Appendix 3 be approved. The Collection Development Policy detailed in Appendix 4 be approved. Documentation Plan 25 detailed in Appendix 5 be approved. Documentation Policy 25 detailed in Appendix 6 be approved. And finally, at 2.7, submission for museum accreditation via the Museum Accreditation Scheme for both Cyfarthfa Museum, Art Gallery and Joseph Parry's Cottage be approved. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Do I have a seconder for the recommendations?
Thank you, Chair. Happy to second the report.
Thanks, Councillor Williams-Price. Do we have any questions? Any comments? I'd like to comment first, Gareth, before you close.
Okay, yeah.
Just really quickly, Kelly, I assume you're still on there. I can't see you at the moment, but I'm sure you're one of the 10 which are not on the screen. I just wanted to say from myself, after everything you and the team have been through over the last few years, but everything you've done this year has been a fantastic achievement. I'm really proud and privileged to have you there as a team. So please pass on my appreciation and my sincere thanks to yourself and all the team at the Castle and Museum for everything you've done. Thank you. Councillor Lewis.
Yeah, similar to your comments, Chair, I'd like to place on record Cameron's sincere thanks and appreciation to the museum staff for all their hard work, dedication and creativity over the past year. We look forward to successfully achieving re-accreditation and in continuing to celebrate and showcase the rich past, the vibrant present and the exciting future of our county borough. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Can we take that to the vote, please?
So could all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hands? Yes, carried unanimously.
Excellent. Moving on to agenda item number 9 on the portfolio, school balances 24 to 26. We consider the report from the Director of Education, Councillor Lewis.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This report provides an update on the financial position of our schools, focusing on 24-25 financial year, this current year's budgets, and looking ahead up to 2028. As of the 31st of March 2025, our schools held a combined surplus of 861,000. This is a better than projected deficit. However, it's still at 58% reduction compared to the previous year. 6 schools had set deficit budgets in 24-25. Of these, 2 have recovered successfully. 2 are adjusting the planned deficits to reflect further savings, and 2 are currently unable to balance their budgets over the medium term. To address these pressures, schools have identified posts for removal across the last 2 years, and this includes teaching staff, the removal of teaching staff, learning support systems and other roles. Looking ahead to 25-26 financial year, we propose categorising schools based on financial risk. There are 6 schools categorised at red, that's the high risk. 11 schools are categorised at medium to high risk, that's the amber risk. At yellow, the low to medium risk are 3 schools, and finally 4 schools are deemed to be low risk, and that's a category green. This approach aligns with our school's financial monitoring, scrutiny and intervention policy, as well as the direction of schools' excess balances and clawback policy. Therefore, I recommend that Cabinet approve the proposed categorisation for the 2025-26 financial year as outlined in section 2.1 of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Do we have a seconder?
Chair, I will be seconding the report. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Williams-Price. We'll take that to questions, please. Any comments?
Just a comment from me, please, Chair.
Councillor Lewis.
This is a challenging financial outlook for schools across Merthyr Tydfil. However, it is important to note and to recognise that financial challenges are part of a broader trend observed across Wales. The situation in Merthyr Tydfil reflects a broader financial strain on schools across Wales, categorised by increasing deficits, staffing cuts and reduced services. Addressing these challenges will require concerted efforts at a local and Welsh Government level to ensure sustainable funding and support for education in future. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Should we take that to the vote, please, Garen?
So would all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hands? That's carried unanimous, Chair.
Chair, just this item.
Councillor Salmon has left the room. Agenda item 10, Instrument of Government T. Dysgu to consider the report of the Director of Education, Councillor Lewis.
Yes, thank you, Chair. You caught me on the up there.
Sorry.
No problem at all. This report outlines a proposal to update the instrument of government for T-Dysgu referral unit serving Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council. The current document established in 2018 refers to the provision as T Humphrey rather, and lists its address as Alexander Avenue, Merthyr Tydfil. It also defines a 10-member management committee. The proposed changes aim to reflect the unit's current identity and location. The name will be upgraded to T Dysgu and the address changed to Market Street, Merthyr Tydfil, CF 483HW. The structure of the management committee remains the same, with 10 members comprising 1 parent governor, 2 staff members, 1 local authority representative, and 6 community members. All members except the head of centre will serve a 2-year term. The recommendation is for the committee to approve this revised instrument of government to ensure it accurately represents the current provision. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Lewis. Do we have a seconder?
Happy to second, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Minette-Vaux. Do we have any questions? Any comments? Do we take that to the vote then, please, Garen?
Okay, could all councillors in agreement with the recommendation please raise their hand? That's carried unanimous, Chair.
Excellent, thanks. We'll move on to the next item, social information reports. Thanks, Councillor Salmon. Which is agenda item 11, the Prevent Authority Responsibility and Compliance Update. Agenda item 12, the update on young people's participation with the Tydfil Borough-wide Youth Forum, Snakes and Ladders National Lottery Funded Programme. Agenda item 13, Care Inspectorate Wales Inspection T. Gurnas, Newydd, July 2025. Agenda item 14, other business, to deal with any other business deemed urgent by the Chair. There isn't any. So we'll move on to agenda item 15, which is an exempt item. So in order for the following to be considered in private, it's suggested the public be excluded from the meeting on the grounds that involves the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 14 under part 4 of the Schedule 12A, Section 100A for the Local Government Act 1972. I'm happy to move Section 100. Do we have a seconder?
Happy to second, Chair.
Councillor Jones, thank you.
Yeah.